the signatures. But But that's silence it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This will be, the
I
draft
got
is
a
is
great
on
way
the
you
county
can
website,
silence it.
but we,
It's like when you your dog.
you know, Tina Beckman,
Throw it out the window when you're driving down the
She
road.
took some
Yeah, I
pictures.
did too.
showed me the outside, and so we're gonna do, this plan talked about it, projects. Around. I think we said.
Why, that's what
You guys signed mine.
Outside the club.
There.
And then.
This is something I'm
noticed
I'm
the
presenting.
decking. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, no problem, no problem.
Just stop in tomorrow and we can walk over to the
So
bank.
one of the perks of being part of.
Get notarized.
Okay.
Is that, you get the screening from this, for all the residents that want that.
Should I change this to mayor since it's
So if it's
this
anywhere,
back part says?
takes in the, anywhere the little piece that says.
Yeah, you can just
member,
cross it out.
Yay. Does he have some wood?
You want to be up, you need to be on the board. Word and change.
Oh, that's what.
Didn't know you're supposed to get that notarized.
Yeah.
Do you have anything
Yeah.
under?
I turned it in already. I gotta go get it notarized tomorrow.
That's what I gotta do too.
I didn't pay no more signatures. Gotta get it
How many do you have?
notarized twice.
All, they can all sign.
I'm gonna get a couple here, then we should have enough. I have, one lady made a mistake and so one line's all blooped out and then,
Started doing Len did that, right?
I had, Russell Harbauer sign it. I forgot that he lives out
Yeah,
but Brad lives in town, so that's one that's not gonna be valid point.
yeah,
Now, Mary Zanke signed it, she lives, their house, I believe, is in West Cliff town limits, but it's not on any of that map. They're the one across the street from Ace, but they own like a half a block in that, you know, the area we wanna, thanks, man, that we wanna turn into a workforce housing.
yeah,
So they own land in there, so I've got her signature on here.
yeah. I mean, that's why we asked for more than 10, just
Yeah,
they're not all gonna be.
Let's see, I got 15 on here, and I think there's 3 that are gonna get thrown, so
Okay.
maybe we can get a couple more before we leave. And then we gotta, you said it has to be notarized in a couple places?
The last 2 pages,
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was gonna come in tomorrow.
Affidavit.
Where you're registered to
of
vote.
Where you registered to vote.
I didn't even look at those 2 pages.
Yeah. Oh, did she tell you that?
I'll fill this out tomorrow.
Oh,
You can-
okay.
Okay,
thank you.
your practical notarize it in church.
Yeah, I'll come. She said she'd come, we'd go get it notarized.
Want to sign it?
Tell her. Yeah.
He's right.
Please.
I could call you.
I don't have to go
tomorrow
around.
to Springs.
it's a small world and.
But I'll be around.
Yeah, they're, in fact, when you're routed to the club.
Stuff.
Saturday too, so.
If you look
If I can, maybe I can.
Like,
Call you if it's town tomorrow, and if you're
Home
on
on
break, if
bridge.
not,
that you can see.
it's worth our time.
Oh,
It's interesting,
Well, the
because
mayor,
when I first
He's
started.
not here today.
he's in Europe.
Oh, guess we better call this meeting to order.
Yeah, that's Bob.
Glad I'm paying attention. I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order, please. Don't make me use the gavel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, please don't. You're good.
So let's stand for the pledge of allegiance. See, I don't want that gavel.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Winkie. Mayor Pro Tem Patterson.
Here.
Mr. Scheid.
River.
Mr. Fulton.
Here.
Mr. Nordek. Mr. Wilhelm.
Here.
Mr. Yago.
Here.
We have a quorum.
I'll recognition of visitors. Start in the front here.
Hi, I'm Amy Munden, and I am here on behalf of the Parks Committee and the High Altitude Garden Club.
Hi, I'm Robin Knappy. I'm the Office of Emergency Management for Custer County. And I'm here to present the Community Wildfire Protection Plan and get your approval.
Jerry Peters, 409 South Fifth.
And on the Zoom, if we can start with Bill Smith, please. Maybe he's just listening.
He's unmuted, so
Oh, okay,
he could say something if he wanted to.
okay. And then we have our attorney. You want to state your name?
Okay. I'm Alex Phipps. I'm your attorney.
And then who's with, is that Dark
Deb
Skies?
Adams.
Deb Adams and Bob.
Oh, okay, I couldn't read. It's kind of far for
Yeah.
me. Okay. Has everyone, we'll do a consent agenda. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes, the treasurer's report, and the bill from last month?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Old business, we have a consideration of a request for a letter of support to apply for a Main Street Colorado program member through DOLA. Is Richard here? Okay. So I guess we can't really make a motion on that if the
I guess-
presenter's not here.
If he comes late,
Yeah.
back.
So item B is a consideration of a request to attend a DOLA presentation regarding the Main Street Colorado program.
Still, that's Richard's.
Oh, that's his too, because I thought, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll wait on those old items, and if Richard shows up, great, we'll deal with that. So under new business, we have a public hearing to discuss the split of Lot 2 Howard Minor, parcel number 001-002-4405 into 3 lots. This is a public hearing and it's open for public comment only. Only one person may speak at a time with a 3-minute maximum. So does,
He asked me to call him when you're. Hi, Joel, can you get on right now? You are up.
It's the landowner. He's out of town.
okay.
Put him on speaker.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on speaker on my phone, okay?
Question real quick, do we have to go out of the regular meeting to go into a public hearing?
That's what Christina did.
Yeah, we're cool. She did.
Oh, she did.
We didn't have any comments.
Oh, okay,
So
sorry.
this is for public. If the public has any comments about this, do we need to hear from the landowner at the public comment, or should we wait until?
You don't have to hear from him, but he's here to.
Okay. Well, I think I had a couple of questions, which was basically what about water and sewer over there?
Joel, what about water and sewer over there?
Round Mountain.
Round Mountain.
Okay, and we've got a commitment that Round Mountain will provide, like that's in
Do
the
you have a
district?
commitment from Round Mountain that they are going to provide water and sewer?
Actually, I had the one lot. I have one water tap, and they will. I talked to them. They will do more at current cost.
All right, and then I was just wondering what the lots are gonna be used for, like, what are they gonna be zoned as?
They're gonna be zoned as the same thing that they are, which is, it's highway commercial, right, Joel, right now?
Yeah,
That's-
and we're just gonna leave it highway commercial. We're not
Okay.
trying to rezone them.
They're just lot split.
Okay, just make them smaller, cause that's like one big lot.
Yeah, and they still have plenty, like, they're big enough to build whatever on.
Oh yeah. They would be similar in size to like
Which one?
where the furniture store is or where the new
Oh,
window shop is. Actually be bigger almost than what that shop lot is.
We have, it's in here, there's a map where he,
When we looked at it on the planning commission,
yeah,
each one of the lots was about the size of
right, and
the gas station.
in the packet, he drew on how he wants them to be split, so.
I
Yeah,
just showing you.
Okay.
All right, that was, so no other public comment or? No.
it's the one behind the motel.
So here's the.
It's on Ridgeline.
Yeah, so there's,
On the corner.
yeah, it's right there on that
Curve.
corner. So here's the
It's,
hotel.
yeah, this is.
Here's Valley Fuel. And then right on that bend, there's those lots.
And that's
right
how he
there.
wants to split into two.
It's all, it's
Mhm.
this and this, and,
This whole thing here.
that like backs up to,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
that's.
That's. Yep.
And then that would split it down to, what is it, 1.25 and 1.5 and 1 or something.
Yeah.
like that. If there's no other public discussion, then I will, the public hearing is closed and we'll go back into our meeting. And then the item is to consideration of a request to split Lot 2, Howard Minor, parcel number 001-002-4405 into 3 lots per the planning commission's recommendation. The planning commission approved the split already and the map is in the packet. And we'll need a motion.
I'll make a motion to split lot 2 Howard Minor parcel number 001-002-4405 into 3 lots as per the planning commission's recommendation.
Anyone want to second that?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve splitting the lot 2 Howard Minor parcel number 001-002-4405 into 3 lots. Any discussion?
My other question would be that there isn't a commitment from Round Mountain to serve 3 separate lots.
You didn't get a
I
specific,
did not know I had to do that.
so that would
So I
be,
am sorry.
okay. That would be. His deal.
I would think, and Randy, this might be a you question.
Okay, what I can do is give David a quick jingle. I can't give David a quick jingle. Well, let me try to give him a call.
Yeah, I talked to Dave about it and he did not.
I
It did
know,
not sound like it would be an issue.
I know he talked to Dave, but I don't, let me give him a jingle real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
Because I would think that if you've got the lots and they meet the size requirements and they're over an acre apiece, then they,
It's not size, it's the number of taps that are available.
yeah.
You know,
Well, there's no moratorium or anything. So it'd just be that he'd just be applying for it.
that's 3 more taps than there already are.
There's one already.
There'd be 2 more than we already have in the town. I've never seen approval of a subdivision without a guarantee of water.
Oh, yeah, because it would be considered a minor
It's a subdivision.
subdivision now. Okay, let me try this again.
Christie,
Yes.
Christie, this is Bob. I'm assuming, did we notify the adjoining landowners, the residential across the street
Yes.
from them?
We did that. Yeah, we sent out all the notices, put
Okay,
it in the paper, we posted it physically there. We did all of that.
yeah, I saw it in the paper. I just didn't, okay, thank you.
Yep.
Dave, Randy, hey, I'm down here at the town board meeting and they have a question about that Howard Minor lot splits. So I'm gonna give you to Melanie here and she can talk to you, okay? Thank you.
We can,
Hi, Dave. I don't know if I can put this on speaker. I will relay what you say. So Christie, I'll relay what the board is saying and tell them what you say, Dave. Sorry, we're on a like. Okay.
the question is, since this is a subdivision, typically you have to have approval of water and sewer before we can approve a subdivision change. And this is for that Howard Minor. What do we have as far as Round Mountain's commitment to this?
So the only thing that we're concerned of is if it has water and sewer adjacent to at least one of the property lines of the new subdivision. So what we don't want is some parcel that becomes isolated, or it doesn't have existing water and sanitation. So if they split that up right, the water and sewer is in the road that wraps around that. So if they split it, which each parcel would have at least one of their frontages on the existing road, and those would all be.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
they all
does.
have frontage.
And it has, yeah, each parcel would have,
Right.
frontage to
Well,
us.
I understand the physical capability of it. Is there a willingness to give 3 taps?
We're not gonna give them, we'll sell them.
Good, good. You provide 3 taps. Okay, that's
There's no
fine.
such thing as.
Okay, so.
Okay, does that answer? Okay, thank you very much, Dave. I'm giving you back to Randy.
Okay.
And, okay, Joel.
That's not the end of my question.
Oh, I'm sorry, do you,
Oh, hold on.
I'm
No,
sorry.
not for Round Mountain.
Oh, okay.
I
for Joel.
have something separate.
Oh, okay.
Is there
We're
anything
okay
in the
then.
covenants?
Thanks, Dave.
Is there anything in the covenants for Rich Line that says that you cannot further subdivide the lots? Some subdivisions have those in the covenant.
No, there's not. No, we did look at that when we're in planning commission and no.
In the covenants?
Yeah.
It looks like all 3 of them have.
Those are my questions.
The,
So I guess I'll wait till Randy gets off the phone.
hang on, let me give you back.
No, I don't think there's any more questions for Dave. We just have
Oh, he-
Do you have something to say, Dave, or hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to see the I haven't seen the proposed, but I'm assuming we would be fine as long as all 3 new parcels would have at least one of their lot lines adjacent to existing water and sewer.
I mean, they do. They would if it's approved, yes.
Yep, then we just say, bring the checkbook, get a water and sewer tap, so.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
Okay,
Money still talks at Round Mountain.
okay. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay, bye-bye.
We have a motion and a second to split the Lot 2 Howard Minor. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, and I do think in the packet for planning commission with things like this, that there's like a line where people have to check that they can bring us in some kind of an approval from Round Mountain
Right,
so that
Next
it's.
time I will, was it, yes.
Yeah, it's a little. confusing.
Okay, I think you're finished, Joel. It got approved and we'll do the paperwork and you're done.
Yeah, right, that they, just a letter or something from Round Mountain to say they can serve.
Yeah.
properties. I mean, for a fee, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, item C, consideration of a request to approve a countywide business directory website by Custer County Tourism. Devex.
So she's not asking for financial help from the town anymore for this, so we just kind of took it off the agenda. And she needs to be on in the future.
I mean, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because there should be a one-stop shop for
They've
all of this.
figured out a way to do it without having to ask the municipalities for money, so
Okay.
that's.
So we just can say, we think this is a good idea? Is that all we need to do?
Yeah, I mean, she's not requesting financial help anymore.
Okay.
So there's just gonna be one then organization?
It's electronic.
Yeah, it's an online business.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right now, all 3 municipalities have it on their website and none of them are updated or match or anything, so
So who would maintain it?
tourism.
okay.
So then would we be able to have a link to that on our site so that people
Yeah,
can still?
yeah, I would link
look
it,
at Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's great. Okay, so we can move on. Item D.
Well, we have to prove it, right?
No, he said we don't.
Not
because she said we
asking,
don't.
originally she was
for money.
asking for financial help from the town and now she's not.
No dough.
No dough.
No,
No.
okay.
Okay, item D, consideration of a request to approve resolution number 1-2026, adopting the 2026 energy operation plan for Custer County. Robin.
And quickly, sorry. So it's supposed to read, adopt the Custer County Community Wildfire Protection Plan. I misquoted that. And so I just want to verbally correct that.
Yeah, it says it in the next line down, so.
Yeah, on your guys' notes, I put it there.
Good.
All right, so do you have anything?
Yeah, just to let you know, we did a survey, and that was answered by 163 people, which I think is pretty good. And then we did 2 public meetings. One was in virtual and one was in person. And continue to get those comments until the 15th of January. Now we have a draft plan on the county website. We've taken the public comment and incorporated that into the plan and are seeking your approval for this wildfire protection plan that includes the 2 towns. But because you don't have an emergency manager, I'm technically your emergency manager. And so we'd like to include the towns. We all have fire threat. And if you'd like, I can just bring out one of the projects if you'd like to hear, if you haven't read all the way through the plan. Would that be a good idea?
Sure, I did read all the way through.
I mean, it is a long plan, but on page 75, 3C2 is to increase outreach and education to short-term rentals and second homeowners on appropriate actions to take before, during, and after wildfire. So this is really kind of a opportunity to educate people who may not live here and understand our wildfire threat. So we have planning and zoning, Silver Cliff, West Cliff, and the tourism board as people who could partner together and come up with a strategy to make sure that people understand they can't just like campfires in the backyard of the short-term rentals and things like that. So that is a pretty low budget and low energy kind of proposal that we could come together and make a little 3x5 card or something that sat on the counter when they checked into their hotel or.
There were some magnets that you used to be able to get that was in the shape of a bear paw.
Oh.
And it was about being bear aware, and it was a magnet that people could put on their refrigerators, and that might be really neat for the
Yeah, I love that idea.
short-term rentals to put like, I don't know, maybe make it in the shape of flames or something and make
Yeah.
it fire aware.
I love that idea. So I guess you're on the committee. That's how it works.
No, I just give you an idea.
No, I'm kidding.
For free, but.
Kit, any comments? I know that's your background.
How many respondents did you say you had?
163?
And this was listed amongst property owners?
Mhm.
8,000 property owners, and we got 163 responses.
5,000 property owners?
8,000 lots, I guess, so.
Yeah, 5,000, yeah.
So 5,000, so
This,
10% would have been 500.
so to compare, Gunnison, when they put out their public survey, they had 123. And their population is significantly larger. So we're pretty excited.
That's probably property owners, yeah, I know when we did the zoning resolution that we had an 11% response.
That's
Which
phenomenal.
was considered good.
Yeah, very
This
good.
is about, what, 3%, something like that?
Unfortunately, I think it's one of the
And
same.
that's just property owners.
Mhm.
So some of the people that responded did you have renters and?
We had really just a gamut of folks and we had a lot of interesting things like just update the old plan. And the old plan was 2007. So you may be familiar with the old plan. So we felt like it was really time to redo this. And it's really an umbrella plan. There's still a Sangres CWPP, there's still a Corona Verde CWPP, right?
Right.
And so there can be other plans that kind of go to the larger plan, but this is an umbrella. And one of the things that you're probably aware of is that we're doing an evacuation study also. That won't be released until March. So I know this is kind of complicated, but we will probably update the CWPP when we get both the evacuation planning and some further analysis that'll go into the hazard mitigation plan. That's another plan that I think Aaron may or may not know about, but
Yeah.
that's every 5 years. So it's time to bring that around. It was 2023 when we, so it'll all really dovetail together nicely around 2028. And if we apply for grants, then we are hoping to apply for grants, maybe one of the last federal rounds of grants. So we're hoping to do things like roadways. So those are our hopes and goals. And this is why it's important we get this signed now so that when those federal grants are dropped, we can quickly apply for them.
I have questions unless you want.
Just one, does this improve our ISO rating?
Does it what?
Improve our ISO ratings?
I don't know. I would think so.
That's our number one concern is our insurance rates.
Yes.
Have tripled in the last 8
Yes,
years.
and you know, the insurance companies will not necessarily take letters like they used to, even if you were a Firewise community, and apply that. So, but we are planning on having a program where you can get a letter that says, I have done this according to, there's a new IHBS, is that right? International Home Builders Standards,
Yeah,
new standards for
Yeah.
that.
Fire risk and that would reduce the ISO, but yeah, 30% of the insurance companies have actually dropped us just based on our zip code.
I know that.
That's probably the best thing we can do for our citizens is improve that situation.
Absolutely. And improving the risk around their home is what is our basic goal, is that 100 feet around your home. And then as we get these neighborhoods involved, you probably are not aware, but we have 17 neighborhood ambassadors now. And so those 17 neighborhoods have somebody who's a point person that helps get everybody else organized and impress upon them how important it is to work. So we've got a lot of things that we're moving in different directions, push towards the landowners because it is their responsibility. But of course, we have the county chipper that we can help with, and that's through the Neighborhood Ambassador Program. And then maybe there's some grants.
I have questions.
Sure.
Thank you.
I noticed in this document, it talks about the Colorado population growing by 15%. And I know that probably really representative of the Front Range, but I took all of the counties that were addressed in here, Custer, Huerfano, Fremont, Pueblo, and Saguache. And all of those, for us, we've grown at a cumulative at a rate of 5.5%. And maybe there's no way around it, but I don't like when rural Colorado or our little surrounding communities get blanketed in with something and then our ratings go up and all of this because, you know, if Boulder burned down, then it must be the entire state. That must be representative of the entire state. So I just want to make sure that percentage in here is not going to negatively impact us as far as maybe with the insurance ratings, as far as any grants you're going to try to get. I don't want to not be looked at because they think of Colorado as only Denver, Boulder, Fort Collins area.
Sure, and I hear you that was a very specific period of time, and that was the high growth. So, you know, we don't have the high growth. We did maybe during COVID. I think we had some growth during COVID, and our predicted US Census estimated is not that high. So it's maybe 500 people a year. So it won't probably be more than 5,050. That's what's estimated for 2023, I think. So if you add another 500 or 1,000 in the next couple of years, that is not, but I hear what you're saying on the demographics. And I think the appendix, I don't know if you got a chance to print that. But the idea of that people are moving into the WUI is what we're really trying to get out there. That there's an interface or intermix between the city and the forest. And really the demographics, the most important thing about the demographics is the age of our population. People have less resources and less physical capability to sometimes do that work.
And so that was just one of my questions.
Thank you.
And you answered, I had a question about the insurance as well, and that would be great, because my big question is, what does having this do for, is this just a guide to follow to help educate people, or is this something you're using so you can get grants, which I support all of that, but at the end of the day, I'd like to see it benefit our citizens, not just in the way of they know how to get out if there's a fire, they know how to behave if there's a fire. That's so important, but it's killing people to have the insurance rates literally 3 times higher, 2 times higher. Even in town, we're getting hammered.
Oh, I know. I've
what
had
they're
people
dealing
come
with
to
in
my
town.
presentations before that I'm like, you live in town? And they're like, yeah, they canceled me because of the zip code. You're absolutely right. But the document itself allows us, the biggest benefit is to have a roadmap. Otherwise, you have competing people and priorities and who's in whose ear about what project. So the projects in the back are listed as very specific projects. Some of them you're in there. And some of them are not necessarily 100% feasible, okay? So let's say we wanted people to understand better about cutting their grass, okay? That's something that you probably care about in town, right? Okay, so I think yours is 4 to 6 inches?
12 inches.
It's 12, okay. And I think Silver Cliff is 10. So maybe,
We'll say that's ridiculous.
yeah. So maybe there's a way that we can all work together and say, if it's 8 or whatever the number, the magic number is we can agree on that makes sense. Because, there are some more agricultural areas in Silver Cliff than there are here, but maybe people would actually remember it. Because when it's 4 and 6 and 8, so those are the kind of practical things that we think maybe the planning, zoning, and building department folks might be able to discuss. Things like the building packet. So when those building packets go out, when they want to build a home, then the building packets have information about wildfire resistant materials. So let's build smarter. Okay.
That would mean that we'd have to be changing our UBC codes because
Yeah, well, we could put it in a packet that just has the information, but if we want to require that, yes.
Yeah, but it would be good just to have in there,
Sure.
like non-combustible decking material.
Sure. It could be added to the packet as a suggestion, but not a requirement. It's something that we could do easily.
Yeah, that's a whole nother situation with potential codes coming down that's beyond this plan. We really don't address that.
I had, with the CCMT and the chipper that you guys have, so I was always told in the past, and I think you were maybe a commissioner at the time, right, maybe even before that, that the county doesn't compete with local businesses. And this chipper competes with at least 4 mitigating companies that are local that I can think of off the top of my head. And so I'm wondering how or why that's working, but more importantly, I'm wondering what kind of insurance you have to carry, because I was responsible for finding insurance for one of those businesses, and I was told by insurance, well, we can't insure you because if you're working on a property and a spark happens and the forest burns down, then who's responsible? And that's a licensed and insured company. So I'm just wondering what kind of, like, how are you able to do this?
First of all, the county covers the insurance. Okay, we get a right of entry form saying we can come on the property. Although at times we don't even go on the property, they just put it on the easement. They stack all the slash out there. And our focus is on people who cannot do it themselves. So our program is built on serving veterans and other folks. Oh, can you hear? Comment?
I think there was somebody's on.
Oh,
I'm not muted.
and we did, prior to purchasing the chipper, just to address the business aspect, we did go out to the major contractors that we were aware of. And we also went to the the one that rents the chippers in Canyon.
Oh, Canyon Rental, do they do it?
Yeah, I think they're the ones. Or True Value. Anyway, the one that's over there that everybody has to go, because our ACE does not have a chipper for rent anymore. And they said, we have so many people coming here for that. That is not going to affect our rental business. And the contractor said, there is so much work to be done that that is not affecting us. So I feel pretty good that we've done that. We do it through a neighborhood process. So we don't go out to one person. We try and get a bunch of people contiguously because there's more bang for the buck when you're doing a lot of that together. Because as we know, if the person next door does not mitigate their house, you are at risk. So when we get the whole neighborhood involved, there's a bit of peer pressure and then hopefully can help on their insurance too.
And then my last question, which I don't think this is probably something that we're able to address, maybe more of a state level thing, but you know, we can mitigate and do all the right thing, but when we hit the wilderness area where you can't touch anything and everything is dead and there's so much, you know, everything falling down and
Sure.
dead standing trees and deadfall. Is there anything, or do you guys look at anything on a state level to try to address that? And is there
We
anything that can be
do, and if you look on page 25, we have the current fire council planning team members. And we did have Elaine on a lot of the calls as we were working through some of the CWPP and, you know, hearing the partnership talk.
Yeah.
So you will see we have a CSU extension in Custer County. Well, you know, that's CSU and they have a lot of great products. We also have Destiny Chapman with the U.S. Forest Service. And even though their staff has been reduced, Alfonso Montoya, so they are in charge of all of the U.S. Forest Service projects. Sometimes those take 7 to 10 years to get approved. So that they go through NEPA, that environmental review. And so we work with these partners at the federal level and then NRCS, the little office right here with the, you know, says what kind of fire threat we have. And then our key player in this plan is Danny Shell in Canyon City with the Colorado State Forest Service. And they help drive projects when there's federal lands. The way to do this is federal land is getting treated. Let's do those private homes that abut that land. So one of the projects in here is a mountain of BLM land, 400 acres, of which then we're hoping to apply for a grant that has to have the sign to treat then the HIZ, that 100 feet, and then take prescription off of that BLM land. So that's a lot further spacing than it is closer to your home, but still taking out more threat. So we work cooperatively. I'm just super excited about this team because we're all on the same page for this. And we'll support them, they'll support us. We have a definition in the plan that says our wildland urban interface is 1 mile onto the forest. So that means we could go in and do treatments that are that close to the homes. So that's a really good thing because generally federal lands are just worked on in federal, and as you know, no mechanical work and so forth. So by working together, it's still a slow process. It's not going to happen tomorrow. And I know Art was over here chuckling when I'm going 2028, but we've got to start somewhere. And if we can go for these larger projects and see if we can't get some big money, you probably know Beulah got $7 million to do their area. So we're looking for that.
NRCS does offer grants and assistance to home property owners that are willing to mitigate their property and allow NRCS to come in and create the plan for them. And then they do offer a little bit of help with that.
Yes.
State Forest Service will do it too. There's 186,000 acres of public land in Custer County.
Yes.
And probably a third of it is dead.
So, is it 60% public lands and 40% private lands?
39%.
Yeah, 40%.
How much of that public is?
39% of public land.
Yeah.
In Custer County. It's 186,000 acres.
I just think what you guys are working on is great, but at the same time, if we don't get some help up above, like we can be perfect here and then that catches, we're all kind of in a pinch.
Yeah, it's tough. And actually, just thinking about the town of Westcliff, our biggest hazards are structures here, and that's where the statistics come from that drive the insurance rates. You burn 10 acres of brush, the value is whatever. You burn a house on that 10 acres of brush, and you just take another 100-fold beyond as far as insurance goes. So they're looking at the structures, and that's what Westcliff is. We don't have a wildland interface here, but
you have Wood Home.
well, we need to participate in what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, and support that. We appreciate that.
We also have in the town, a whole bunch of these gullies and everything else that the town owns. If we're gonna really get serious about it, we need to start doing something with those, making sure they get all mowed down.
I think the grass is more than 12 inches in some too.
Oh, yeah, and if they're talking about 12 inches and maybe going down like 6 inches, we'd end up with a lot of places we're gonna have to mow because it's town-owned property.
Yeah, or weed whacker or something.
Oh, you need
down
more
in
than
there.
that.
Yeah.
You need a big bush hog and, so.
This is a question for the town, if I can throw it out. Have you ever cited anyone for not?
Yes,
And where do those funds go, into the general town fund?
they actually, we give them a warning and they've taken care of it. And what would happen if they didn't do it is we would go mow it and then charge them. And then if they didn't pay it, we've got to go through municipal court. Our judge is in New York.
Yeah, you'd have to put a lien on the property.
Yeah,
Imagine
well,
if they covered that.
That's what we've talked about, and we don't have a process for doing that at this moment, but
We could put a tax lien if I remember right.
Yeah, you
Something
put a
like
lien
that.
on that.
yeah, we've got legal, like our,
And also about the insurance. I know when Kit Shy, I'm sorry, you're right there, sorry. Yeah. When Dave Tunzing was down there, he'd actually got got some sort of rating and we actually got lower insurance ratings. And I called my insurance people and I literally had to have them then call the insurance company. They didn't have any idea about that.
Yeah,
So
I worked on that. A lot of that had to do with water sources in town, using the swimming pool.
Yeah.
And things like that into the program to get that
Even
ISO.
Round Mountain, you get the,
We knocked it down a point.
yeah,
Made a
so
difference.
with, getting all the wells turned on and cranked up.
Yep.
Does anybody have any other questions or comments for Robin?
No, I do That was a very nice plan that you did. Very
Good work.
nice.
Thank you.
Yes.
Does
Good.
anyone want to make a motion or do you have one?
I have one more comment, as insurance was, mentioned so many times, we are planning a seminar the end of June for, the public to attend. Now, I can't say it's gonna actually lower rates, but it'll give us strategies on lowering rates. And, it's United Policyholders. I don't know if you know who they are, but they're, not a specific company that sells insurance. So it's not a competition thing.
Everybody should go to that.
Mhm.
Does anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we.
I'll second it.
The CWPP as presented tonight.
I have a motion and a second to adopt the Custer County Community Wildlife Protection Plan. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, great. Motion carries. I'm here to pay, and we'll see if that works.
Thank you, appreciate the hard questions. Let them know.
Well, I guess I have to sign all of these.
That's your copy.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just needs the top one.
All right, thank you. Okay, the next agenda item is consideration of a request to approve the final draft of the housing needs assessment. This is Erin.
Yeah, to close out the grant we received for that, you guys have to formally make a motion and second. That housing needs assessment is like over 100 pages, so I emailed to you guys and it's in Google Drive, but it's basically the firm we hired a while back to collect all the data. They came up here once or twice, spoke with focus groups, to get community input on our housing needs. So it's been finished for a while. I didn't realize it needed a vote, and I went to close out the grant and she told me it had to be on the agenda.
I evidently looked at the wrong document because I did not see 100 pages.
Yeah, it's 100 something. But it's what we hired the firm to do, is put that together. And then I need to close it out by the end of this month to get our final reimbursement.
I guess we really need to close it out so we can.
Well, to get the money, yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's that firm that did it all. It wasn't staff input or anything like that. But Bob was involved as well, helped out.
Does anyone want to make a motion or have any discussion about that?
I'll move that, Christie.
Right. We have a second.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to request to approve the final draft of the housing needs assessment, so Erin can close out the. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the motion carries. And just to be clear, before anybody would want to go forward looking into grants or doing anything, it's still going to come. I mean, just approving this doesn't mean we're just approving that this document was created. Just want to make sure that everybody understands that.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
This just essentially pays the consultant, is that what?
Right.
Right. Right.
There's some stuff I did. Okay, so,
Motion made and seconded.
yeah, motions were made and second and approved. We approved it, great. Item F, consideration of a request to keep or remove the baseball diamond at Memorial Park venue.
Yeah. Well,
Want to know what baseball, what's it mean? It's a national
Well,
pastime.
I have these, this is what we have right now, pretty bleak and pretty, disastrous,
It's bleak.
you know, and that's what we've been working on with the Parks Committee for several years now, haven't we? And this is what, and then the Parks Committee came up with. I believe this is the one that you did. Yeah, with all the trees and the berms and everything else and the expanded playgrounds. We can pass that around. Like,
I can put it on the, I'm trying to get it on the screen.
okay, so what I wanted to do is, before the Parks Committee gets any further down the road on these. You need one, Christie?
I mean, I know what it looks like now.
Yeah, you live across the street from it, don't you?
Yes.
Yes. So, what I wanted to make sure is that we don't get down the road and, somebody comes up and starts complaining about us taking away the baseball diamond. I just wanted to make sure that, A, you know, the board isn't gonna say, oh, okay, well, we're gonna keep it. I wanna find out now, basically, what the board's opinion is.
Isn't Silver Cliff, they just got a grant for pretty big updates to their park up there. Does that include a baseball? I think they play baseball up there. That's where the kids play
They
baseball.
have 2 diamonds.
Yeah,
So,
I don't have a problem directing people to go there to play baseball.
okay, I just wanted to,
Personally, that's just me.
yeah, I just wanted the board, Parks Committee to be working on this and then somebody come up and go, oh, the baseball
Well, do you have any idea of the usage right now? Are there-
usage,
Yeah, are there leagues
basically
using
none. I don't see hardly anybody
I
except for
don't think there's
the,
even town leagues anymore.
No, the Pee-wees play up in Silver Cliff.
Pee-wee's,
Yeah.
T-ball players.
Yeah.
and the other situation is too, we have a lot of events that happen in this park. But we're using up the whole park. Now, what I was going to say is, why don't we keep this whole area here open, not put trees into it and berms and other shrubs and things like that, so that we can still use it as for events.
I do see people play volleyball out in the park and, a lot of times like picnics and things will set up volleyball. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I just, like I said, I want to make sure that the board is, on board before we move forward.
Yeah, I
With
wouldn't
this.
want the whole thing to become treed and shrubbed and berms and things, because there are people that use the flat space for, but I have not seen anybody play baseball in a long time.
Okay.
The schools, the people who are in there using the school, they're out there playing kickball, baseball, playing on their recess. Then we have almost every year, the Family Fun Day up there, which consumes almost the entire park.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody's playing like baseball and
No,
softball
there's
per
no
se.
teams, there's nobody practicing or teams or anything like that.
We used to all the time. Yeah,
Yeah, there
but
used to
that's
be.
when Silver Cliff didn't have anything up there too.
Well, there used to be town leagues.
Yeah, we used to have.
I used to sponsor softball team.
Yeah,
You did too.
that was basically my questions for that. Now, we got $40,000 this year. So basically, the only thing we're gonna be able to do is probably just put in trees around the outer edge. And some more down in this area here, if that's.
May I speak?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it would be wise to do several tree gardens if possible. About tree gardens, there is a plan for that sort of thing with multiple species that work in this area. And Colorado State University with its agricultural and horticultural programs really have some wonderful resources available to us, to the public, and we can use it in the Parks Committee and come back with some ideas of scattered areas closer to the perimeter and closer to the playground, and present it progressively based on funding available to the Parks Committee. Of course, we'd have to, I think, coordinate with town maintenance and parks, because we're talking about irrigation and a few other things. So right now, it's just in the thoughtful planning stages and getting an idea of what this board sees as a good use of the area that may not be used to its fullest now by providing more picnic areas, more resting areas, more just beautification spaces, but nothing elaborate that requires a lot of maintenance.
Yeah, and cost is the next problem, you know. You take a look at the study that was done in 22. And when they got through the figures, it was about over $2 million. So we're gonna continue down the road to do these parks. We're gonna need money in the budgets, so. And the Parks Committee's gonna, well, like you said, we're gonna go back there and the idea of groupings of trees, you know, for this year. We're gonna do what we can with what we've got. But, you know, down the road, we're gonna need more money, so. But I just wanted to get your feelings on this because, like I said, I don't wanna get down the road and, oh, we decided we're gonna keep the baseball diamond.
So this is a motion, this is a required motion, so I need to see if anybody wants to make a motion to keep or remove the baseball diamond at Memorial Park.
I think those are mutually exclusive. Keep.
Well, I mean, does someone want to make a motion to
One of the-
remove that or make a motion to keep it? I don't know who, maybe someone wants to keep it, make that motion, but,
Well, I thought it worded differently. I'll make a motion. I make a motion that we, continue to plan that portion of the park that contains a baseball diamond, with the idea that it would be removed.
Okay?
I'll second it.
motions are made and second that we continue to work on a plan, or the Parks Committee continues to work on a plan that encompasses that end of the park that includes a baseball diamond with the idea that it might potentially be removed. Get that right? All those, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. And then additions to the agenda. I have a couple of additions that I wanted to talk to you guys and see what you felt about putting this on future agendas. Actually, Richard, who was supposed to be here and do his presentation about Main Street, he had sent me, and I don't really know why he sends it to me, and anytime I respond to him, I make it clear that I'm not representing the town or the board, and these are strictly my personal opinions and thoughts, and I can send all of that out to Aaron if you want to see things I've said to send to you guys. But he kind of is thinking outside of the box about some grant opportunities. But the problem is we've already budgeted for 2026. So I don't think we can do anything with that now, but a lot of money he's looking at does include like beautification. It was like a T-Mobile grant or something. And it was like $75,000. And so I thought that I wanted to ask how you guys felt about maybe down the line a little bit, because give the Parks Committee a little bit of chance to maybe put together your ideas of your priorities of what you want to do when you like to see things done, so that if a grant opportunity comes up, or maybe we budget for matching funds for 2027, that we can, if there's money available for beautifications, we can move forward with it. But that would be, so one, it's like, since there's a couple of Parks Committee folks here, would you guys be willing to put, maybe you already have it, a game plan of how you'd like to do things? And two, is this board, would the board be willing to allow that to be on the agenda somewhere down the line so we can kind of accept that game plan and budget accordingly?
Well, I have a question now. Is this going to be affecting the organizations that are already, well, like the Christmas tree and all of that, the farmer's market? Is this organization going to be taking over those?
No, well,
duties?
and we haven't even, he didn't show up to the meeting tonight for anyone to discuss anything, but he actually, there's other grant monies available that has nothing to do with the Main Street program or anything else. It has to do with, okay, we have a tower in a T-Mo or AT&T tower or whatever in our valley. And so because of that, we're eligible for some grant money that they put out there for different types of projects. Well, we couldn't really even consider applying for that when we don't have matching funds at this point. So I would rather see us kind of have a game plan of things that we would maybe want to have matching funds for in the future, so that if some weird random grant comes up, we can maybe apply for that money. And because, we budgeted matching funds for this project in the park, and maybe we get some money to help us with that.
Establish some
So
priorities.
it's just establish some priorities is all it
That
is.
makes sense.
This is all I'm asking you to do. I mean, I know that we've got some people that their priority is trees on Main Street, and then we've got some people that their priority is not Main Street. And so I'd rather that this board as a communal comes up with the priorities based off of what the Parks Committee has put together, because you guys are a committee that was established to kind of address these things for us, if that makes sense.
Just to me. Because sometimes there's a short turnaround on grants.
Mhm.
They want an answer quickly, and, we had a box full of ideas, just to.
Well, if we, because did we budget for a part-time person to help you two out? I think we ought to get on board and get somebody hired to help. One of their things could be to look for grants.
It was more of like a planning and zoning.
Yeah,
I mean, we're kind of getting off topic.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this
Yeah,
is
we are.
additions
If
to the agenda, but yeah, I
If
just
we had somebody that took over more of that planning and zoning stuff, we would have.
be able to look at other
Yeah.
grants. I mean, I had no idea, but there's like some random monies available that who would know? And it'd sure be great to have a little bit of matching funds. Oh yeah, we can totally apply for that. And we have a project right here we just have to write it up and it's perfect. I don't know what that project is off the top of my head. That's why I'm
Wish
looking
list.
to you guys, right? So you were gonna say something?
Well, it may not be appropriate because I'm wearing two hats here, both on the Parks Committee and for the Garden Club. And as you all know, thank you very much for your support for our Main Street project of beautification, which is flowers down Main Street. And our theme this year reflects our 250th Nations anniversary. We're going to do red, white, blue flowers for the barrels and due to the help that we get from the town, we will be replacing the Garden Club's plastic tubs with the old style wooden whiskey barrels again. And we've already purchased them, and it's from monies from our other donors. And it's made possible by what the town does for us for helping us with the planting project. So definitely a thank you to everyone in this room that is involved and helps us with that. And that focus down Main Street has also been a focus and conversation, I think, with the Parks Committee.
Yeah.
But at this point, the logistics are such that I feel like we can do what you're asking as far as coming up with some suggestions and progressive movement within the perimeters of Memorial Park. I think that's where our direction is now, until the board tells us,
Move away.
yeah, we want you to focus on some other part of this town.
I think that if you guys could work on that and maybe in a couple months come with your game plan, maybe could go on our agenda and we can then or discuss it or prioritize, and just so we have it, so we have a plan that, okay, in 2027, we want to do this, 2028, we want to do this, and it's not just willy-nilly.
That Paul
Yeah.
was talking about, but we are starting to get off subject, so I advise us.
No, I wanted to see if that could be added, but it starts with you guys, I guess. So if you could
It's already-
please
it's
put
already been
something
started.
together. Okay, great. I also kept forgetting I talked to everyone about this kind of individually, or not everyone, but then I kept forgetting to bring it up in a meeting, so I had to write it down. I really think we need to solicit a bid or see what it would even cost, I guess, to solicit some bids to put a door in the office, because if someone is at the window and being aggressive to the staff, they have no way to get out.
Oh, that's the only no exit out of that end.
No, there is no exit behind that glass in that
That's
door.
not safe.
There's a trap door in Caleb's Oval Office, but it just goes downstairs where there's no door. So
That's
that's
unsafe.
not an
Yeah.
escape.
We
Yeah,
need an
I don't know
exit.
what it's for.
You need an exit.
So, and I think kind of with the windows where they are, maybe we could even turn that already existing area into window area. So I don't know if that needs to go on the agenda, because I think we would need to, I don't know if we just need to randomly ask some contractors, or that's something that we would need to put a solicitation out for. So I just wanted to see if we need to do solicitation, and we can add it to the agenda for February, so we can make a formal motion on it. I think that's important.
Very important. That's,
Yeah,
I've worried about that a lot.
I know,
You know, it's-
I talked to you about it, and then both of us forgot to bring it up at budget.
Well, I can have Neil ask around
Sure.
to get just some kind of generic quotes, and then I'll put it on February's.
Okay, so we can
Yeah,
see
and
what.
as far as
we-
budget goes, see where it is in the budget. It's in capital somewhere, I would imagine.
Yeah,
A place for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Take one of these 3 doors.
And then,
To come through 3 doors just to get the window before you can give them a hard time.
That's why they give them a hard time, they're throwing those doors.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe you're cooled down by then.
That's the cool down.
I noticed also that when we had, we put out a friendly reminder on Facebook to the businesses that they need to plow or shovel the snow in front of their businesses. There was like quite a bit of pushback, which I was a little bit surprised about, and I thought was kind of crazy. But then in the next breath, I realized that we have that little machine now that clears the snow off of sidewalks. So is it unreasonable to ask and again, this probably is an agenda item, maybe it needs to be discussed for next year, but that we would ask our employees to drive that little machine down the main blocks before they're starting to hit over where nobody's walking at, and there's a foot of snow.
I think that needs to be put on the.
Yeah, but I just wanted to ask you guys' thoughts about that. I'd like to put that on the.
And have Neil here, we'll have.
Yeah.
Neil.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so does anybody else have any additions to the agenda?
I got one other thing. Did we give Neil the okay to go and buy these trucks that he needed?
Yeah, I thought we did.
We
Yeah.
did, but we haven't found one. He had found
But
one,
yeah, and by the time it got approved, it was already gone.
yeah,
So
because that amount of money would need to go on an agenda, and
Okay,
and
right.
by the time that, like she said, rolled around, the truck was already sold, and it was up in like Michigan or.
yeah.
I think we need to put it on the agenda to
I
go
do
and
too.
have him start looking for it, because, it's been the funds have been approved, so.
I mean, he has been, there's just nothing.
Yeah, it's been approved, just remind him to keep.
Okay.
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
It's
Any other additions?
I just have one question for the Parks Committee, since they seem to be here. I noticed looking at that, and I've wondered about it for a long time. Things are just gonna pop in my head, but this Parks picture that you gave us, Randy,
Yeah,
all those stone pillars that are around the park,
yeah.
they're in various states of condition.
That was a $87,000 to repair them.
To repair them.
7,000. 87.
87.
Poor Archie, man.
Don't have a coronary on me, I don't want to have to give you. So,
Yeah, well, I just wondered about them because, there was an awful lot of work put in when they built those. I know that goes way back.
Yeah, it wasn't done by the veterans or something,
Well, and
and
they
you
used to
can't
have-
really take them out.
They used to have wooden rails between them. That's what the
Yeah.
holes are inside.
I mean, it was poles.
Very cool decorative thing at one point, and it probably needs to be either incorporated
We
in
need
future
to-
plans
we
or
need to start
done away with.
putting these things on the agenda before we start discussing them like this, because we're getting off.
Well, no,
we're getting off
it's
the topic.
additions to the agenda and it's public comment and we're not asking for any motions or anything. It's just like the Parks Committee is here, so and we asked you guys to come with some items, so it's not unreasonable to discuss these things for you guys to talk about, please, and know that that's what we're all thinking about.
If there was a quote for repairing them for 87, was there a quote for removing them?
You don't even want to go down that road.
Well,
Don't go down that road.
we kind of gave the Parks Department some direction. We'd like to see them come before us. Obviously, there's some things that have been discussed here that they can hopefully discuss in their meeting and bring back some
Repair one a
thoughts
year.
to us. Any other additions or comments from the board?
Well, what about having some standing agenda items? So every meeting, you have a Parks Committee report or you discuss parks issues. So that way, that 30 days in between, we're not waiting to put that little item on the next agenda for parks.
And if they don't have anything to say, then we just go to the next day.
Yeah, just a standing
Alex, what do
committee
you,
reports or something, standing.
Yeah, you can absolutely have standing committee reports. And of course, if there's no substance, someone just stands up and says, hey, we don't have anything to report. And you move on to the next section of the agenda. So you just want to identify what standing reports you have and make sure that you identify, the exact committee or whatever action they might want to have taken at that meeting. But other than that, yeah, you could have that item every single meeting.
So you would want to identify an action item on.
Yes. If there would actually be a motion and a second to do something, you would need to identify that specifically. But if you're just having a report from a committee, you could absolutely just say Parks Committee report.
And discussion connected with it?
Yes, you could discuss topics again, as long as no action is actually taken. You can do basically effectively what you're doing right now, discuss the topic and provide direction to, town staff to do something, but not actually take any binding action, not approve a spend, not, adopt an ordinance or a resolution.
Because the public needs to be notified of any action items, is that
Right.
kind of?
That's correct.
Thank you.
So are there any other committees that we should add that to, add on to that besides parks?
Well, we have a staff and committee reports already on here.
So
Right.
you could just subcategorize that.
Right.
so historically, we didn't label it, but Caleb would always give a report. I do if there's something to report. But I haven't broken it down, Westpac,
Maybe that's.
Town clerk,
maybe that's
town-
adequate.
yeah.
Maybe that's
but I
adequate.
can, definitely.
All right, so I guess I could say I jumped ahead to staff and committee reports. I'm sorry about that. It's been a minute, okay, since I've been here. Any other public comment right now? Or additions to the agenda, excuse me. Staff and committee reports. You guys have anything?
Just one, I've talked to most of you individually, but your nomination petition signatures are due by next Monday by 5.
This Monday or the next?
Or this,
This coming
whatever
Monday?
next Monday is the,
26th.
yeah,
26th.
yeah. And the last 2 pages do need to be notarized. Sorry. So, I'm taking Art over to the bank tomorrow morning because those ladies notarized for free, so.
Which seats are going to be 2 years versus 4 years? Because don't we have, like right now, so many are up because of filling seats.
The seats that the top 3 votes are gonna be the 4-year terms, and the 2 seats with the lowest amount of votes are 2-year terms. So you guys can't pick, hey, I wanna do 4 or 2, it's the amount of votes that come in.
Okay, I had someone ask me about that. I didn't know.
Yeah, I talked with the state about that, just to make sure.
Any other public comment now that, with our 2 public? Jerry? Anyone on the,
About the one that's asleep on the
yeah, I
floor.
know,
I know,
that's a real comment.
I registered her to vote, so she can.
Can I get a paw on my petition?
Yeah.
Any comments from the Zoom? Any Zoom? Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second this.
Motion's been made second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
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 Oh, any discussion? Any discussion about adjourn?
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
That's
Alex.
Bob.
Thanks. Yeah.
You're welcome. See ya. Thank you.
That's Bob.
You're not hearing you.
Sorry, I ended it, sorry.
That's okay.